Hi, thank you for joining us at Inc. My name is Lea Gray, and I'm here with you today, as I am every week, to help build the most important brand in your life, which is you. And when we talk about building, we use tools, and the same goes for building our brand. These wellness tools will help elevate your emotional intelligence and help to lead you in a more positive, successful direction in life and in business. Some of these tools will add another dimension to your life today, and others you will save for a rainy one. This week's tool is Hobby, and why having one or two or three will lead to success in life and in business once I've demonstrated to you that this is a great tool for your brand. The reality, however, of the value of hobbies is extraordinary. The book, The Heart to Start, Stop Procrastinating and Start Creating, by David Kadavy, tells us that the time you spend with a hobby amounts to something priceless. Pride and a deep personal joy that comes with patience, hard work, and doesn't depend on anyone else. And it is important to know that this is the reward, as so many don't know where to start or want to start, and instead self-defeat. How to get over these obstacles. Eliminate fear in your present self so you can become your future self by tapping into curiosity, preventing time sucks, manage time to follow your art, burst through linear work distortion, and supercharge your progress with motivational judo. Welcome, Ms. Gray.
Hi.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here.
So
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about this before we officially started rolling, about that article in the Mansfield News about your exhibit at the Kingswood Center Gardens. And
Yes.
you mentioned that one thing that was, before we get to the thing we were talking about, you mentioned that you use your walk-in closet as a spray booth and you bake papers in your home oven. I don't think I've heard of anyone using their homes like that.
And it really, it takes a little bit of putting some paper down and some protective areas
I was going to say.
so that it doesn't look like a giant studio.
Right.
But it's really convenient for me to work from home because when I get the creative spark, I don't want to have to wait for traffic to subside. I don't want to even drive. I just want to walk into my studio. And so I have a window inside of my walk-in closet, and that's what sold me.
Okay, good.
So there's a window in there. We have like a whole system built so that it ushers all of the particles out. My apartment complex knows about it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they know. I actually teach classes at my apartment complex as well.
Nice.
So it's just sort of a nice relationship I've developed. Otherwise, I would not have done it.
Right.
But yes, it does make it convenient because why would I go anywhere else to create when it's the comfort of my own home?
Right, exactly. And also, like you said, just when you have that inspiration, it might die if like someone cuts you off, or like who knows, you're running out of gas, you gotta stop at the gas station. There goes creativity. Like you said, you get that spark, you gotta go. I'm glad that there's a window because I saw some of those rainbow flowers. I was like, oh, that must be the fumes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the byproduct of running a business.
Sure.
With art. You're going to have some things that are probably not the best for the environment.
Sure.
But for myself, I do wear a mask.
Yes, good.
I close the door. I have a sealed door. So I do everything proper. But yeah, it's just nice because, like I said, I don't want to have to drive anywhere. I have to do anything. I wake up every day and I decide when it's time for me, because otherwise it becomes work then too.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work, or like you said, a person cuts you off and then that's the end of it. It's like, it's over.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Or you get a ticket.
Right.
Okay, so you also mentioned in that article how a friend had asked you to create a bouquet of flowers for Mother's Day, which was your first commission piece. So my question is, how important is it to have feedback and suggestions for someone to cultivate their hobby to the next level?
Well, there's constructive criticism and then there are opinions. So the difference between both of those is if somebody's really willing to try to help you and give you information that you can use to bring your product to be better, then that's useful. If it's just an opinion, I mean, we all have them.
Sure.
And sometimes you really kind of have to let those go because a lot of times people have a perspective based on their own lives and what they're doing with their lives. So with that said, I mean, with me and then the time that I've ran my business, I've had some feedback where I've used different types of resins that didn't work over time. I use resin for a faux water look with my floral displays now. And so there's been feedback about that, or feedback about shipping. I'm shipping paper flowers, so sometimes they become ruffled. So I include a little letter that says, please, fluff them when you get them, and different things that kind of give an expectation of people. So that's the business side of things. And as far as my artwork goes, I've had tons of suggestions on what I could do or where I could go. And again, it's a matter of a different perspective of opinion or constructive criticism, which I take seriously.
Right. Or like sometimes like when I asked you to do that bouquet, and you're like, wait a minute, this feels right for me, right? So I think it's important for us to, when we have people in our lives who have a hobby, because you were over at my house doing origami with my kids, right?
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
That was the hobby prior to that, and I got bored.
Yeah.
I actually got bored because I was not only creating other people's designs, and it was very repetitive for me, but then it got to a point where I wasn't really activated. I mean, a hobby has to activate you. Right. It has to bring some type of burning flame inside of your soul. Yes. And otherwise it's just something you're doing that's sort of a chore. And so for me, I moved into this paper flower thing, and it was because of you, because you came to me after you discovered I had made a paper flower for somebody or something, and it's like, well, can you make a whole bouquet? And that bouquet took me like maybe 45 hours. I mean, it took me a really long time. But throughout the whole process, my heart is racing. I mean, the blood is pumping. I'm getting chills up and down because I'm going, this is so much fun, and it's going to be challenging because there's not a flower or plant that I can't create from. There's always going to be something new coming in. It really kind of put me in a way of like bending my mind, and also origami lights up both parts of your brain at once.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a lot of people use it in nursing homes and things so to keep them from the degradation. Dementia
and things.
Yes, dementia. So it's really just something that, because it lights up both parts, it's able to kind of move you and I guess impress you too, because once you come out with the origami piece in the end, it's sort of like magic. You look at it and you go, I just made that out of one piece of paper. So it's a fantastic thing. But like I said, I got bored very quickly because I wanted something more organic and creative, and something that I could really put my skills as an artist to. And so that's why making paper flowers, it kind of hits all the notes.
Gotcha. I'm surprised, like in your workshops, someone hasn't appeared yet, but I guess when the teacher's ready, the student shows up, or what is that, the master's what is that saying?
Yeah, I mean, no, I know what you're trying to say, and a lot of people have. I've had a lot of kids say, I will be your assistant, and I'm like, well, if you can work for cookies, then yes.